Your website sucks. And I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of the bad news, but someone has to be honest with you and tell you the truth. Your website is a crime against humanity, an atrocious abomination, and something you need to fix immediately, or you should just take it down. Take it offline, start all over, do whatever else you were doing for marketing. Your website marketing efforts are responsible for inflation, wars, and probably even homelessness. Okay. I'm sorry to say all those things, but I'm speaking to 99% of you. Since 2001, I've been helping companies improve their websites and generate more leads through my agency, websiterescue.com. Link below if you want to check that out. But don't be mad at me, right? I know I said some bad things. Instead, let me point out some common mistakes most people make. And if you have made any of them, please feel free to reach out to me for a free consultation and I will get you on the right path. I'll put your website in the Hall of Fame. You'll be proud of the property, proud of the leads it generates, and improve your ROI on your online marketing. Mistakes you made along the way are so damning that you want to read through each of your violations before you issue an apology. Yes, you're going to read through all these apologies right now. Your website sucks because you don't know the answer to the question, why did we make this website in the first place? Why did we do this? Why did we go through all the effort and spend all that money? The year was probably back in 1995. Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise was on the air, and after reading about the internet in a magazine, your company's CEO went and demanded that you put up a website and get it up and running. You get a CTO, CIO, or whatever you want to go work with, or someone that you hired, maybe it was your nephew, who knows? And you started right there in the middle. You started without a purpose. You just said, we need to get online. We need to have a website. Whenever the year was, that's different, right? Doesn't matter. But you started without a strategy. And your website's probably not done well ever since then. But why does your website really exist? Really, ask yourself that question. Why do you have a website? If you don't know the purpose of your website, then just stop listening to this video and figure that out. You can pause this if you want. Now back to this. Second reason your website sucks is because you let your developers focus on efficiency and not crawlability and things that make it search engine friendly. Now, as someone who's been in this space for 24 years, I know what it is like to write code for your website. You bang your head against the wall. You do all these things, make all these plugins, WordPress, Wix, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the simple solutions are right there in front of you. You've got to move on to something that makes your website fast, load quick, and different from your competition. After all, the shortest distance between 2 points is exactly that, a straight line. Your web developer probably went through some tough decisions in making the site. You probably chose a platform that wasn't great for you, and your content probably isn't being found. It turns out everything from being on your site since this first day it was online is just simply a failure. But search engines are having a hard time finding it, and that's probably why you're here. Your website sucks because it doesn't get any traffic, and that's the number one thing. But there's a lot of things that need to happen as well. Third reason your website sucks is because you haven't embarrassed your hippo into submission. The highest paid person's opinion, that's hippo, often battles when decisions need to be made without any data. And after that, the person who's paid the most money on your team with the experience and the bankroll stands out and they need to make those decisions. That is dead out wrong. I hire people younger and smarter than me to work for my agency, and I learn from them daily. Sometimes you need to embarrass your hippo in front of other people with actual data, actual audits, which I can send you if you request that below. Happy to do so. We will make you make data-based decisions to help your website gain more traction in Google, get more leads, and create a better user experience. Don't listen to the hippo in the room. Just because they're rich or have a nice Rolex doesn't mean they're right about your website. I see this day in and day out in my agency. Fourth reason your website's probably failing is because you made some sacrifices and you wanted the website online as fast as you can. But those sacrifices, you never really went back and looked at and said, how could we fix that? You launched the website. It was very hard. You got it online. It's got less functionality than you want. You worked long, hard hours to put it online. You paid a lot of money. You wanted to meet a deadline. And you know what? It was still probably behind and not delivered on time, but it probably lacks some of the tools that websites need to succeed. You then launched it, started celebrating, took a vacation, and wondered why leads didn't come in. So by now, you're probably working on your business, doing another project, and looking at other areas of marketing, perhaps doing paid ads or something like that. But your website probably is not perfect. Let me audit it for you and give you some free advice. The first thing I'll do with this free advice is show you exactly where you're winning and losing in the search engines. It's very important to understand. You need a baseline. Fifth reason your website probably is failing is because you let your designer's ego get in the way of what's actually working for search. They wanted it pretty, but it probably doesn't load well. A great design is hard to get, but you can't ignore the fundamentals that go into creating a great website. And you need to ignore the designer sometimes and make less is more as your approach. Google needs to load the pages. Flash is out. If you've got a Flash on your website, you need to contact me now because we need to change that. Number 6, I see a lot of people doing this. Your website probably sucks because you used a very cheap designer, maybe on Fiverr.com or something like that. And you used a copywriter that you just basically hired for whatever you could get. You broke your budget on the designer maybe, or maybe you couldn't get a good content writer, but these things need to match up. They all need to be in sync. Having people in the Philippines write for companies that do business to business is just not a smart idea. I'm sorry, I outsource all the time. I use many countries, Philippines included, but that's just not going to fly. Your content needs to be professional. You have internal links on your site. If you don't have any right now, if you don't know what that is, contact me below. I'm going to walk you right through that. It's very easy. Let's be honest, most people would like to write their about page and make it look perfect, talk about all their accolades, but there are other things on your website you need to talk about. Many people will check out your about page, but that's where all your focus is. Where's your messaging at? What services do you offer? Let's dive into those. 7th reason your website probably sucks is because your client has never heard the word no. Just say no. You were afraid of your client firing you. You never told them no when they had a bad idea. You said yes to everything, and now you are in big trouble. And that's perhaps why your website sucks, because you were a pushover and the client doesn't respect you. So let's talk about that. Maybe your site's been online for a while, maybe it's brand new, but I will give you a free audit no matter where it's at. Your website could also be failing because you were failing to embrace the technical details that need to go into a website that Google needs to see. You keep on adding images and ads and badges and other things that make your site just look amazing without taking any of the consideration of what Google looks for, the biggest search engine in the world, and what they find is valuable and why they will rank it. Sometimes these plugins, these images are all just not optimized well, and they will clog down and bog down your site. Your load time will suck, and you will need help. We can fix that. Another mistake people make is they always use this crutch called user experience without ever consulting a user that's actually used the site. Everyone sits in a room and decides what's best for the user. That's probably the way to do it, but you need the actual user to do it too. Who's your target audience? Ask them about your website, the navigation, the ease of checkout, the ease of contacting you for a lead submission. Those are all very important things. I get to a lot of websites that I analyze and they do not have a call to action that stands out to me, or worse, it's in a color that blends in with the rest of the website. That's the quick number one tip I can give you. Always use a call to action that is a different color, never used on your website. Your website's all blue and green, call to action being orange, right? People will see that. It's a user experience that is written in text. It's a study in our industry. It's done. Read Conversion Optimization by Tim Ash. It's a great book. Your website could suck because you need to keep your Flash developers employed, and those guys are pretty expensive, and they've got some pretty pictures that fooled you, and you thought it was awesome. You thought the site just loaded so cool, and your mom liked it. It just popped. Who cares if it doesn't load properly on mobile devices? Well, you should care, because mobile is search right now. Many people use that, including children, millennials, everything like that. Flash is like the fats, oils, and sweets of the internet development food guide pyramid. Might be tasty and irresistible, but it's still something to use very sparingly. I wouldn't use it at all if I were you. Your website could also suck because it could be a whole bunch of tactics and no real vision behind it. All the best practices in the world are combining on this website. You're trying to get your message across so many ways, tell everybody how awesome you are, but you're forgetting that Google can only spider keywords on your website and rank you for them because they exist on your site. If you want to be the best lawyer in Fort Lauderdale or the criminal defense lawyer in Fort Lauderdale to rank, you need to say that on your site. You just can't toot your own horn in your own name and tell everybody, yeah, I'm the number one guy rated by blah, blah, blah. You need those keywords strategically placed on pages that match up with that user search experience. Like my dog right there is using this experience right now to get away in my video and bark. That is something that will interfere with the website as well. You don't want a dog barking in the background. No, you do not. Which leads me right into my next point. Your website could suck because your mobile strategy could be really it's just not there. People will be like, well, it doesn't really look good on mobile devices, but that's okay. Many people don't use it. Yeah, it's not 2007 anymore. We're in 2024. The year of the mobile has gone and passed. Everyone's on mobile. We get more traffic from mobile devices and tablets than we do PCs. It's just the way the world is working right now. We're all in waiting rooms. We're all in the car. We're in Ubers. We're in restaurants. We're glued to our phones and we're searching. That is where your traffic's coming from. If you do not have exposure to mobile or you're not mobile optimized, you are in serious trouble. That affects lots of your users. Trust me when I tell you. Again, contact us below. Free audit. We'll tell you what your mobile usability score is. So you need to really start considering this as the experience of your website in addition to what it looks like on a PC. 13th reason your site could suck is because your web analytics came the last time your CMO was current on your website measurement techniques. The only metric available in their stats package was website hits. Hits is a term we haven't used in 15, 20 years. You're going to want a report that comes from Google Analytics or Google Search Console, or even like a nice outsourced program like clicky.com. I will show you where your traffic is coming from. Look at the pages that are winning, look at the pages that are losing, recommend some changes, and perhaps if you hire me, get a strategy to get that growing and focus on growth. Analytics are important. We report to our clients every single month. Lots changed in the last 10 years, and Google Analytics is a great suite of tools that can give you insight to your business. If you aren't using it, we'll connect that for you. It's very simple. Reason number 14, and yes, if you have any of these right now, you need to contact me below. Your website could suck because you haven't made dedicated landing pages for your PPC campaign, right? So if you're doing paid advertisements and you're sending them all to your homepage or an existing product page, you need to think, does that really sell my product all the way through? Is that the best experience? If someone landed on that page and just saw an item and click add to cart, would they buy it? I wouldn't. I want to be sold the product. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what it does, its features, its specs, everything like that. So look at your product pages and your PPC campaigns. Another thing we do is manage PPC budget. We consult on that whole process. It's part of our agency. We do it for many, many companies. You might also be advertising in the wrong markets. If you're advertising to the global market but only serve a certain community, you need to make sure you're matching up with those intents. You also might be serving ads to people of all ages. Maybe you only work with a specific age group. If you're selling stuff to senior citizens, you want to make sure you change your ads to people that are 45 plus. And I know they're not senior citizens at 45, but a lot of times it might be their children looking for that information. You do not want teenagers clicking your ads. There is no value for you there. It's very little possibility that they are looking for stuff for care, perhaps for senior citizens. So looking at your demographics and your ad spend is something we will do. We'll analyze and audit your entire spend. That's just another thing we do here. Your website could also suck because you're trying to get to home base on the first date. I mean, really, like so many people are trying to do this with their site, and I've seen it. Have you ever purchased a product online without really doing thorough research? No, you probably haven't. You probably go and research many, many websites. You read reviews. You go to Facebook. You ask friends. You even check for negative experiences before you purchase something on someone's site. So what makes you stand out in your web marketing? What makes you think you can convince other consumers to buy from you versus your competitors when this is only the first time they met you, right? It's like every single relationship out there, sales take time. Don't set out and go for the home run and promise the world on the first thing. Guide them through the process. Walk them through with graphs, research, testimonials, and create points and summarize how this happens as they check out. Create confidence and trust. 17th reason your site could suck is because it doesn't match your customer and it wasn't built to the design or spec. Your site could be in hot green or neon pink, something like that. But if you're selling to men, you don't necessarily want that. Why do you think that design was a good idea when you picked it? Were you selling to a senior citizen? If you were, your colors need to change. They don't appreciate the irony in colors that could make their eyes hurt. Be aware of your surroundings and your customer base. The perfect website does exist. You need to know your audience. You need to know what colors sell to people. There are studies done on this. So again, you know who to contact if you need a consult. I run into a lot of websites too that have coming soon or under construction sections, and that is just brutal. Do not have this. Finish it. Don't put it on the back burner. If a user gets there and sees coming soon or under construction, they're going to bounce. They're going to take off. A bounce is when they hit your page and they leave right away. You could take an hour out of your day or hire someone like us to finish it. It's very easy. Do not let your website sit idle under construction. Google hates it as well. Another reason your website could suck is because your last blog post was in 2007. Guys, people look at those things. If I see a company that I want to buy something from and they have their last update or their copyright is a year that's way in the past, it's time to move on. They are not paying attention to it. Do you think they're going to ship your order on time if they haven't updated their blog in 10 years, 15 years? Do you think they're going to have a real care in the world if you have a bad experience, if they're not updating their site with proper information and it looks like it was built in the past? 9 times out of 10, no, I do not shop at those websites. Yet another one of the final reasons your website could suck is because your navigation looks like some corporate strategic plan and people get lost in it. User experiences are great, but you're going to lose more people using it. People need to know how to navigate your site or they're going to get lost. People can't use Waze or Google Maps to use your website. Your navigation has to be clean to the point. They have to know where to go. If it doesn't make it obvious where to check out or submit a lead form, you are in big, big trouble. I see this time and time again. Most people don't even have their phone number in a prominent position, and they're a law firm or an accountant looking to take those kind of leads over the phone and talk to them. Why is it buried in your footer? One of the last ones, too, is your branding. If I go to your website and I read the whole thing many, many times, and I don't know who is behind it or your brand name, and it's not obvious, why was I even there? Do you know who I am? Did you get to the brand? Did you research it? Did you make it memorable? You need to do that. You probably don't know me, but I'm branding myself in this video. I'm Tim Schmidt of Website Rescue. Got to remind you that right now. It's important to tell them who you are. They want to know who they're dealing with. All right, look, enough of the tomfoolery, enough of the comedy. Your website could be a crime, or maybe it's okay. Either way, we can fix it. If you made any of these mistakes on this list, contact me at the link below. I'm Tim Schmidt of Website Rescue. Check out our site, websiterescue.com. We do search optimization. We do paid advertising. We fix failing websites. We want you to make more money with your website. We want you to succeed, get more leads, and have a great business. But right now, if you're stale, stagnant, or just don't have a plan, you're getting lost in the shuffle because your competitors are doing it. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.